Hey guys, I actually got some really good news for you today. Namely, I got this baby right here, a Škoda Kamiq 1.0 TSI with 110 horsepower. Let me tell you, it is a 3-cylinder and I was a little bit skeptical how this car is going to be like. But let me tell you, this thing right here has some really good spec, even though it is a base model. Let's check this beast out, shall we? Just before I start, I want to tell to my executive producers, Diedrich and Dominic, a big thank you for being my executive producers. Without you, all of this would not be possible. And if you, my dear viewer, would like to become also an executive producer, check out the first link in the description down below. It will lead you to my Patreon page. One thing what I find really interesting about this car is, even though it is a base model, is not that it has this pattern here, which is like crisscross on the daytime running lights, but actually this thing right here. Let me turn it on. It has LED headlamps as standard. This is amazing. Like, this car is below 20,000 euros brand new, but unfortunately I checked it up in Serbia. It is not being sold anymore in this trim level brand new, so this is a little bit sad, but I can tell you this is pretty good. For a base model car, very well done, Škoda. Another thing what I noticed was that this car, even though it's a base model, it has like some relatively cool safety systems. Like you see here, it has a radar, which is for the autonomous emergency braking or maybe just detection. I mean, I had it a couple of times triggered. Well, here in Belgrade it happens anyway quite a few times, so this is pretty standard, but for the city this is absolutely amazing. And on top of that, it also comes as standard with lane departure warning, so it triggers on the steering wheel that it's vibrating a little bit. It shows on the trip computer that it gets triggered, so this is actually pretty decent, so really good stuff. Let's check the car out from the back, shall we? Kamiq, not with K, but with Q at the end. I don't know why they call it like this, but I find it a little bit weird, but probably this should be like something like with crossover, something what's a little bit more SUV-esque. For me, this is like a baby SUV. This is a B segment SUV, like it shares the same platform as the Seat Arona, as the VW T-Roc, or no, T-Cross, sorry. The T-Roc is a one segment higher up, and it is a pretty decent car, I must say. Like it is a very inoffensive design, and I really like the lettering here with the Škoda. It looks very premium, I must say. However, there is one thing what I want to point out, apart from it being a rental car, because obviously I would not borrow any friend's car while I'm here because for insurance reasons, I have a different gripe with this car. No, it's not that it has fake exhausts or none of thereof, actually. No, it's actually because this car has absolutely no parking sensors and no reverse camera, and I find this absolutely sad because for this size of car, even though the visibility all around the car is good, I absolutely forgot how to drive a car without parking sensors, so it is a huge bummer. But it has LED tail lamps and LED number plate lights, so this is actually really premium for being a base model car. This is the key right here, the typical VAG group flip key, and here you press this button in order to unlock the boot. Oh, one thing what I gotta tell you is the boot. It is a big party piece. So in order to show the things how they are in perspective, come with me. I want to show you the actual boot. And I gotta say, this car is actually very spacious for being a B segment SUV. I have pretty much enough space in here, and I think for 4 small suitcases or 2 big ones, you have enough space. For a small road trip or if you're a family, you will definitely not feel cramped in here. Like, it is very spacious, and it got even this tonneau cover up here as well. Really cool. And underneath here we got I think it is a full-size spare wheel. Yeah, that's pretty good. Škoda is very famous for doing the things a little bit differently than other car manufacturers. Like, they call themselves simply clever, and they got one really cool solution here, which is right here in the petrol cap, or door better said, and as you can see, an ice scraper. Really cool. For Europe, every car should have this in here, because that way you will never lose it and never have the need to buy a new one. And I'm actually wondering, why did no one steal this? Because it's a rental car, but it sounds pretty alright to me. And European cars, they really do this very well. Click and push to open. Very nice. Very nice. Coming into the car, you have a relatively big door with big windows, and of course this car feels a lot more spacious than any car in this kind of segment what I've ever been in. And this front driver's seat is very far in the back, and I'm 178 centimeters tall, and I got still 2 fists of legroom, and I got 2 fingers and a fist of headroom. Like, it is very, very spacious. Like, I feel very comfortable in this cabin. You got decently sized door bins for your drinks, you got your window switch, the chrome door handle. For a base model, this is really nice. And look at that, you got air vents in the back. Well, no USB ports or heated seats, but this is pretty enough for this segment, ladies and gentlemen. I really have to tell you. And 2 back pockets and a center armrest with 2 cup holders. Let's move to the front. Now in the front, the doors are even bigger, and I adjusted myself here very comfortably to my driving position, and I have a telescopic adjustment steering wheel. Both seats are height and position adjustable, and seat back as well. And you even got here a lever, which is right here, which is for your lumbar support. Like, you pull it up like this, and you got a more comfortable seat. And those seats, even though they're cloth or fabric, as you like to call them as well, I gotta say that they're very comfortable for short city trips. I don't know how it is going to be like on a longer trip, but I'm going to test it out soon myself. And I gotta say, it is a very basic interior. Like, I can show you around here from my first perspective view so that you can see what I mean. So as you can see, the steering wheel has no switches. It is a 2-spoke steering wheel, which is, at the first glance, it is a little bit confusing, but for me this is very ergonomic because I like to keep my hands down below when I'm driving a little bit more relaxed. And also, this is the speedometer. It has, well, basic gauges, 2 analog ones on the sides with the water temperature and with the fuel tank gauge smaller on the right hand side. And in the center you got the multi-info screen, and it shows that the boot and the front passenger door are open. Other than that, you have here the light switches, the light leveling function, and there is a compartment here where you can store some stuff. Interestingly enough, this car has heated side mirrors, which you activate this way, not through the aircon control, and it has automatic up and down windows. And here's the window lock. Cruise control as standard, ladies and gentlemen, which is available right here, which is set on the signal switch. And here is, well, the trip computer on the side, and this is the wiper controls. Yeah, very, very simple. This is the head unit. I'm going to show you a bit later when I turn the car on. And this is the aircon. Well, I do not remember how to use this properly, and that's why I either make it too cold or too warm, but maybe I'm just used to it to have an automatic aircon or an aircon with a digital display like I had in the Purdue MyView review, which you should check out in the top right corner. Here is a really cool compartment with 2 USB-C ports. This car does not come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but it has Bluetooth connectivity, so this is really good. But I think, or no, I do not think, I know that the upper variants, that they got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Right in the middle, you got 2 cup holders, or like 3 if you have like smaller cans like this. This is the handbrake, auto start stop, and this is the armrest. Well, when I opened up, it got the smallest container what I've seen here for, well, multi-purpose container, but it is actually more of an ashtray, and you got here a cigarette lighter. Well, pretty interesting to say the very least. But this is a tiny glove and tiny center armrest box. I don't know why. This feature right here, an extendable armrest, so you can chill here like this. Very, very nice. And this is the glove box with soft opening and relatively sizable and illuminated. And you got here space for your cards and stuff. Yeah, and I like this finish right here. This is soft touch plastic. This is also soft touch plastic. This is a little bit squeaky right here. This is also soft touch. Like, Škoda actually took care of having a decent car. This is already scratchy of course here. At the touch points that you have a decent quality. I value that a lot. Sunglass holder, makeup mirror, and card holder, but with, alas, without illumination. Nice. One thing, what I also remember back from my Audi A3, which I used to have, is this thing right here. It is very tactile, I love it, but one thing what I really dislike is when you have your volume like this, it gives me the ick. Like, it makes me so annoyed, and I like to have it like this up here. So here I'm connected to my Bluetooth here from my phone, and well, let's go through the menus. As you can see, it has radio, telephone, smart link, vehicle, media, driver assistance, sound, settings, and legal. Well, as you can see, it's not the smoothest system out there, and you have here like it feels like as if it's a tablet, right? To be honest with you. Here, phone. This is mine. Smart link, so it's unavailable because, well, base model. Vehicles, since start, like long term, since refueling. This is what I'm going to show this when I turn on the ignition. Media, this is with Bluetooth. Driver assistance, please switch on the ignition. Sound, well, the settings they're set to this, but one thing what I gotta gripe with this is why does it have only 2 speakers in the front, or only the speakers in the front? I don't know how many it has, but it's a little bit annoying, to be honest with you. Volume, here are the settings. You can adjust how loud you want to have your Bluetooth and stuff. Settings, touch screen tone, menu button tone, you don't need that. Settings themselves, the screen, any different things, language, but all kinds of languages are here. Oh my goodness, even Serbian. Fantastic, guys. This is a car which is for this market, like very well done. More keypad languages, you can have multiple ones. This is even Cyrillic Serbian. Oh my goodness. Here, I don't know what this is with legal, but yeah. I'm gonna show you right now when turning on the car. Put the key in. So this is since refueling. It consumes quite a bit of fuel, but yeah, of course, city driving, and you can drive it with as low as 5 liters on the motorway, even maybe a bit lower. But yeah, it's the aerodynamics. It's not a very aerodynamic car, and since start, well, I'm driving this car more spirited, so that's why it's 7.6. On the long run, yeah, let me tell you, this car is not very fuel sipping, but this is due to the engine. Oh, this reminder is pretty cool. Remember your mobile phone. So that I do not forget my precious thing right here before I exit the car. All right, let's pop the engine and show you how it looks like from the inside, because honestly, I haven't checked it out myself. Can I open it up when the door is closed? No. Let's open up the door and then pull this lever. Oh my god, this is heavy. Let me just pull it up myself quickly. Oh, this is heavy, bro. This is very heavy. Here. This is the 1.0 TSI engine, and no engine cover, very pure air filter, all that kind of shit here. This is the battery. I think it is for the extended thing, what you call. I think this battery is specifically made for the start-stop system, so I think this is pretty cool. But one thing, another simply clever feature is this right here. So you see this here, like when you open this up. Oh, no, wrong side, bruh. Anyway, what I want to tell you is this is like a funnel where you can put in of washer fluid more easily inside, but somehow I'm way too stupid to use it. But it is actually better than what you have for your usual washer fluid thingy to insert it, because that way you can avoid spilling. This is pretty cool. Let's close this thing down. I need to show you another simply clever thing, which is in the driver's side door. In the door, well, you see, this is basically a standard door, right? There's a hole. And unfortunately, there's nothing inside because I think this person who has had the car the last time stole it. There should be an umbrella inside. So it is a very clever storage space where you can put in an umbrella, because then you need to then you don't need to worry where to put it down, either in the boot or between the seats and the door. Just have it here, pull it out, very simple. And funnily enough, the brand new VW Passat even got it as well, because it was engineered by Škoda engineers, which is actually a big bonus point. I think all the other VW products need to learn something from this, 100%. All right, enough waffling, let's go for a drive. Okay, you see the dome lights, they are, well, yellow lights, halogen. which is a little bit annoying considering that the exterior lights are all LED, but I think this is something what I do not have to complain about at all, and I think this is pretty cool. The clutch is very light, it easily creeps. It's not like the type of clutch which is like with a lot of recoil. It is a very forgiving clutch, and I really enjoy using it despite the wobbly gear stick. And I know it is dark right now, so I have to admit that this car is very good for a city. Very good. Like seriously, like even in this kind of traffic, easily creeps forward. It's not uncomfortable even with the seats because they're so soft. Absolutely nothing to complain. Nothing. I mean, yeah, I would just go for a higher trim level because I think this is a little bit bare bones. But in order to show you why it is bare bones and why I think it should be a higher trim level is with the music. So I'm going to search for my usual song, which we're going to test right now. I don't know what you guys think of it, but with some adjustments and tweaks, I think that this car has a relatively decent sound system if it is for 2 speakers, because you cannot adjust the fader to front and back just from left to right. So that's why I assume it is only a 2 or 4 speaker setup, which has all the speakers in the front. And with the bass, well, it is pretty decent. Like, it reminds me a lot of the Proton Saga, what I've tested back in Miri when I went there to meet Hiwei Sang, and it is, well, the Proton Saga is obviously the car with the better sound system, but I think that this one is also something what is pretty okay, considering that many cars which are cheap have absolutely terrible sound systems. In terms of fuel consumption, this car, well, as I shown you before on the screen, it consumes around 6.8 liters on the long term, and I assume this is a lot of city driving, and this is, in my opinion, a lot of fuel, considering this is a 1.0 liter engine. And yeah, I must say that some people might find it pretty okay, but considering if you can get a car with a bigger engine and consume maybe around the same or a little bit higher fuel consumption, I think it's not worth it to go for a 1.0 liter, because it's simply not worth it. But like for a city, if you're just pushing a little bit and so on, I think it's completely fine. But if you want something what's more for the longer trips, I don't know, I gotta test this out. So I believe you're now wondering how it is like to test it on longer drives, yeah? Alright guys, I'm gonna say goodbye for now and see you in the next day, where I'm going to do a little road trip. What would I rate this car with? I think a 6.5 out of 10 would be a fair mark, because I think it is very comfortable to sit in. It is relatively punchy inside the city, but I think like it needs a little bit more stuff inside in order to fulfill my personal expectations. But if you want to have a cheap car which is going to get you from A to B comfortably with a lot of space, this is the car to go. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.